Well, hello YouTube, my name is Nick and this is my Boyu TL450 marine nano tank. It is only just short of 3 weeks old, and as you can see there's already a damsel in there, was heading somewhere now, living the dream. Now I'm putting this video on, there's going to be a series of videos, it's basically with regards to setting up the Boyu TL450, which is probably one of the most common and most bought marine systems at the moment. A few tips really, because fortunately I've set up a couple of these before, so I'm okay at doing them now. But what I did notice when I got this one delivered was the instructions are all in Japanese, so I don't speak Japanese and I don't think many other people do in the UK, so I was just going to put a video on, just a brief one, just with a few tips and you know, what to do really when setting one up. So what you can see in there, like I say, is only just short of 3 weeks old. There is live sand in there and already cured live rock. I probably should have put a video on when I first bought it to show you the steps of how it's got to this stage, but I didn't. So the TL450 is a 58 litre tank. When you first get it, the best thing to do is just to take everything out and give it a good clean. Just use normal water and a sponge and clean all the inside of the tank. A tip would be to buy some fine filter wool, which is the fine white filter wool, which is this, with this stuff, and just put a very thin layer in between your filter pads, which are in that first chamber on the right hand side. Because the filter pads that come with the Boyu TL450, the holes in them are quite large, so that allows for large particles to go through your filtration system. Whereas by adding some fine filter wool, that will catch those larger particles and thus having clearer water and a cleaner system. So once you put that in, like I say, take everything out, give it a good clean. Now the best way to first get your system up and running is, obviously you need to go and buy your salt water. If you're a new beginner, it's probably better that you go and buy ready-made salt water. To fill this particular tank it will cost you around £14 to £16 to get yourself 58 litres of ready-made salt water. Don't turn anything on. You won't be turning anything on for a good 3 days when you first buy one of these tanks. So the first thing you do is buy your water. You then need to buy some live sand. Now the sand I'm using here is Nature's Ocean, which is the brand of the sand, and it's the white stuff obviously, but it's the really fine sand. It's the 0.5 grains to 1.5 millimeter grains, which really give it that really good sort of Caribbean look. It looks clean and really fresh, and because it's live, it comes with all the decent friendly bacteria that you need to sustain a healthy, decent system, and obviously it comes with all the biological elements in the sand, which is what you need really to sustain a really good marine system. And as you can see, it obviously speeds up the cycling process. This is only just short of 3 weeks and all the levels are already pretty stable, and like I say, that damsel, although they're quite hardy fish, is proof that you know, it's speeded up really good. So the best way to administer and put in your sand and water is, the first thing you want to do is, like I say, make sure everything's turned off. Close these filter slats. Once they're closed, you want to fill your tank with salt water right to the top. You want to get a decent level. They recommend about ½ an inch above this outlet tube. Mine's probably just a little bit low, it just needs topping up, but you want to be achieving a level that's just above that plastic lid, the bottom bit that is, not the top bit. Once you've done that and your slats are closed, pour in your Nature's Ocean live sand. There is about £20 worth in this tank, which has left me with a good sort of a decent inch and a half in the bottom. Through research, people say you want no more than an inch, other people say you want up to 2 inch. I, before in the past, have had it at this level, and it's proved to be really good for the system. So you put your live sand in there, your slats are closed, and it will take approximately 2 to 3 days for your water to start to get really clear and for the sand to settle at the bottom of the tank. Once you can see to the back of the tank, then it's time to turn on your system. A quick tip, just make sure this tube, make sure the holes in the tube that release the water are facing down towards your aquarium and not facing up, because obviously then you'll have water squirting out everywhere. And the second tip is really with regard to the protein skimmer. For the first 7 to 10 days you will not need your protein skimmer on. It doesn't matter if you do put it on, but what you'll find is if you've got your protein skimmer on, it'll just fill your aquarium with tiny thousands of little bubbles. It's not a bad thing, it's not going to harm anything, but the reason why it does that initially is because at that stage in your setup you've not got any things that need skimming. Basically there's no wasted food, or there's no fish poo or like that, so basically there's nothing for it to skim, so it just sends out thousands of tiny little bubbles into your aquarium. But those will eventually go once you start introducing live rock and fish into your aquarium. So like I said, this is the first video. Hopefully that's given you a few tips about setting it up. The next video I put on will talk about each individual chamber at the back, what each individual chamber does and why it's important. We'll then talk about live rock and why that's important and what kind of rock you want to be buying. And in the forthcoming weeks I'll be adding further videos when I introduce a additional power head into the tank to create a better flow, and also when I start introducing more livestock, how to acclimatise them and things like that. I'll be due a water change in a couple of weeks. You recommended that you do one water change probably at least once a month. Some people do it every 2 weeks, but if you've got live sand and live rock, it's probably better that you do, especially in a nano tank, about 10 to 15% water change once a month. But I will post a video how to do that and why we do that as well. So thanks for watching this video. Any problems or have you got any questions, please feel free to comment on it and I'll get back to you as soon as I can with an answer. Or if you've got any tips to help the setup of a Nano TL450 from the Boyu range, then please feel free to let me know what those are. And thanks for watching.